Tony from ImGonnaUke, and in this lesson I want to cover something that every beginner ukulele player struggles with, and even a lot of intermediate players out there still have trouble with, and that's how to change chords quickly. Now, especially for beginners, one of the biggest challenges is getting your fingers used to playing a chord shape and then quickly changing to the next chord shape all before the next beat. Well, I'm going to show you some tips and some techniques how to help you change chords quicker. So get your ukulele tuned up and ready, because I think we're going to uke. Alright, first thing I want to show you is a tip that will immediately make you sound better and not sound like an absolute beginner. And that's when you're playing a song and you know a chord change is coming up and you already know it's going to take you a second to change or switch your fingers to that next chord. So you probably sound something like this. So stop stopping your strum. Keep strumming the entire time while you're changing chords. If you're playing along or singing along with others, they're going to keep singing on the song. So just keep strumming the whole time and let your chord hand catch up. So even if it still takes a few beats to get your fingers to play the chord, just like this. Right away, you're already sounding better. Anyone else that you're playing with or singing along, they don't get interrupted and they can continue to play and sing the song. Now, in both examples, I'm actually changing chords at the exact same speed, but the second example sounds much better because the strum and the rhythm keeps going, so it's less obvious to your ear when you hear it. Hey, if that little tip helped you, then let me know by clicking like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more free lessons. To help with chord changes, it is helpful to understand that chords used in a song, they're not totally random. Usually the chords in a song are all based on the key of that song. So you've probably heard someone say, hey, what key is that song in? Well, you don't need to understand the music theory behind that right now, but I just want you to know that certain chords will always appear together in a song. So for example, C, G, F, and A minor will always appear together. So let's practice changing between those chords. I'll have other lessons on other chord groups, but since the key of C group of chords is actually the most common that's used in songs. So we'll start with that and we'll work our way through the other chord groups. Now you might see these chords in a slightly different order in a song, but this group of chords of C, G, F, and A minor, they'll always appear together because any song that's in the key of C is going to have these chords. Alright, let's walk through the chord transitions that we'll probably see in the key of C. So starting with C major, usually we're going to change from a C to a G or a C to an F. So let's practice that for a second. If we're playing a C like this with our third finger, playing a C, and then we're going to switch to a G, already we can get our first and second finger kind of hovering over that first and third string over the second fret. So don't actually touch the strings, but just get your fingers ready because you're playing a C and you know that change to the G is coming up. So get your fingers ready. So all you have to do is just push down these two and you just move your third finger up one string. So try your best whenever you're changing chords between C or G or C or F or really anything. Try not to take your fingers too far away from the neck of the ukulele. So that way your fingers are already close, you don't have to move them very far. And if you think about it, really the only finger that's currently playing the C, you just need that same third finger on the third fret on the second string for that G. So try to minimize your movement and that'll make it a lot quicker. And there's some songs that you encounter where you have to change from a G to a C very fast, and you don't always have to play with your third finger. If you're playing a G and you have to switch to a C very fast, look at your second finger's already on that A string. Just slide it down from the second fret to the third fret, and there's your C. So if you're playing a G, so you can switch really fast by just keeping that finger on there. Now, of course, if you've got a little bit, if you have like just a half a second more, then play it in the kind of the proper way with your third finger. But that'll help you change between those chords. All right, now the other way is when you're changing from a G to a C. So you're playing a G and you're basically doing the reverse. You just lift off those first two fingers and then slide your third finger just down one string. It's just jumping that one string. So if you think about it that way, and then also try again not to lift your fingers too high off the neck. Keep your fingers as close as you can without touching the strings. So when you pull off your first and second finger, they can still hover over there, and all you have to do is just jump your third finger to that first string. Now the other common transition is from a C to an F. Now, because you're not reusing that third finger, so you don't have to worry about it so much in the F major chord, but what you can do is get your first and second finger ready by hovering them over the right strings, over the second and the fourth string. So as you're coming up, like you see in the song sheet, you see that you're about to change to an F. So get your fingers ready, and then all you have to do is press down with that first and second, and then lift off with the third. And to go from F to C, you're really doing the same thing, just in the reverse order. You're getting your third finger hovering over that C note here. So you're getting your third finger ready. You see that the C change is coming. So if you notice, I'm keeping all of my fingers very close to the neck, so that way I don't have to move very much at all. The next chord transitions we'll practice is from an F major to an A minor. Now this is pretty simple because an A minor, now if you play with one finger like this, you might come into problems. But if you look, if you're playing an F major with your first finger on that second string on the first fret and your second finger on the fourth string on the second fret, if you're playing an F this way, all you need to do to play that A minor is just lift off your first finger. It's okay to play it with your second finger. I know a lot of players will play it with your first, or sometimes their third, or even their second, but if you think about the minimum amount of movement that you need to do, in music it's called the economy of movement. So you want to try to economize, try to minimize the energy and the movement you have to spend. So when you're changing from an F to an A minor, just lift off that first finger. It can even hover right over there. It's okay, because if you're playing an A minor and you've got to change to an F and you know that that change is coming up, you can get that first finger hovering right over that second string, right where you need it, and then the last chord transitions that we'll practice in this lesson are from a C major to an A minor. Now, similar when you're changing from an F to A minor, if you use your second finger to play an A minor, when you're changing from a C, which is using your third finger, and to change to an A minor, you're not reusing your third finger. So if you think about it, you don't need it anymore, so you're just going to lift it off the string. You can go ahead and get your second finger ready. Now this might be a little bit of a stretch for some of you. Now your finger doesn't have to hover exactly over the string, but as long as it's hovering close, that'll make your change much faster. So get your second finger as close to that fourth string as you can. And then when you change, you just really just kind of rotate your wrist just slightly, and you can change between a C and an A minor. Now going back from A minor to C is the same thing, but opposite. You're just kind of rolling your wrist just a little bit to play your A minor, and then the C major and the A minor. Now when you know those changes are coming up, go ahead and hover your fingers right over those notes, and that'll help you out. All right, now to get smoother at these changes, yes, you do need to practice, but practice these chord changes together. Practice changing from C to G, from C to F, from F to A minor, from A minor to C, or C to A minor. It's because you're going to encounter these chords all together in the same song. So practice them together as a group. That'll help get your fingers used to making these quick changes, and then follow the other tips of keeping your fingers close to the neck without actually touching it, and hover your fingers over the right notes when you're getting ready to make that chord change. And also keep strumming the entire time. If you learned something in this lesson, don't forget to click like and subscribe to the channel and hit that bell so you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And be sure to check out my other free lessons as well. Well, keep on uking and have fun playing, and God bless.